Welcome back to Facing the Mirror. This is the space where we stop outsourcing our clarity, where we stop blaming and bypassing, and where we finally get honest about what we tolerate, what we chase, and what we confuse with love. Today, we're talking about attachment styles and friendships, not romantic relationships, but actual friendships. Because for a lot of people, friendships are where attachment wounds hide the longest. We excuse things, we downplay our needs. We tell ourselves it's not that deep, but it is that deep. Because friendships shape your nervous system just as much as romantic relationships do. They teach you what consistency feels like, what safety feels like, and what you believe you're allowed to expect from other people. So let's talk about what's really happening. Why friendships matter more than we'd like to admit? Well, here's the truth that most people avoid. If you keep choosing emotionally unsafe friends, it doesn't matter how much therapy you've done around dating. Friendships are the training ground. They're the rehearsal space. They're where your attachment patterns play out quietly, without the drama of romance to expose them. Ask yourself, who do I feel calm around? Who do I feel like I'm too much around? Who do I overextend for? Who disappears when I'm not useful, entertaining, or strong? Those answers matter because attachment styles don't shut off in platonic relationships. They just show up differently. So let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense. Anxious attachment in friendships. This is going to show up as overgiving, being the always available friend, feeling hurt when texts aren't returned, taking distance personally, being afraid to ask for reciprocity. And these are the friends who are loyal to a fault but often feel invisible. They don't ask for more because they're afraid of losing what little connection they think they have. Avoidant attachment in friendships will look like keeping friendships very surface level, disappearing during emotional moments, being great in crisis but absent in consistency, valuing independence over intimacy, and minimizing emotional needs. Avoidant friends often say things like, I'm just not a big talker, or I don't need much from people. But underneath that is discomfort with emotional dependence and vulnerability. Fearful avoidant attachment. This is the push-pull dynamic. These friendships feel intense and meaningful and confusing. You're close, then distant, connected, then cold. They want closeness, then feel overwhelmed by it. These friendships can feel magnetic but destabilizing. And then there's secure attachment in friendships. These are the friendships that feel, well, steady. No games, no guessing, no walking on eggshells. You don't have to perform, you don't have to chase, and you don't have to earn your place. Secure friends follow through, communicate clearly, respect boundaries, repair conflict, and stay consistent even when life gets busy. They don't disappear when things get real. Familiar is not the same as safe, and this is where I want you to pause, because many people confuse familiar with safe. If you grew up around emotional inconsistency, neglect, or chaos, calm friendships can feel boring. You might gravitate towards friends who need rescuing, friends who trauma bond, friends who are emotionally unavailable but intellectually engaging, friends who only show up when they need something. And you call it chemistry, but it's conditioning. Safety feels unfamiliar until you retrain your nervous system. So, what to look for in lifelong friendships? I can be very clear about this. Lifelong friendships are not built on intensity, they're built on capacity. Look for the friend who can hold space without fixing. Don't compete with your feelings and your healing. Celebrate your growth without feeling threatened. Respect your boundaries without punishing you. And stay present during uncomfortable conversations. Healthy friendships don't require you to shrink, explain, or overfunction. They don't make you question your worth when you express a need. Now, how to build lasting friendships? Well, this part requires accountability. You don't attract secure friendships by wanting them. You attract them by becoming safe yourself. That means communicating directly, letting go of passive resentment, saying no without guilt, releasing friendships that only survive on history, allowing reciprocity instead of control through giving, And some friendships won't come with you into your next session. And that's not failure, that's alignment. Now, I do want to share something personal. Recently, I received a handwritten thank you card from someone I've worked with, and it stopped me. Not because it praised me, not because it validated me, but because it reflected something deeper. It reminded me that this work does matter, and that presence matters, and that consistency matters, and that people feel the difference when they are seen without being managed, fixed, or judged. And that card reminded me why I do this. Not for numbers, not for recognition, but because healthy connection changes lives. And sometimes the quiet moments remind us more than the loud ones ever could. So here's your mirror moment. I want you to ask yourself, which friendships calm my nervous system? Which ones activate old survival patterns? Where am I overfunctioning? Where am I afraid to ask for more? Who do I feel emotionally safe being honest with? And most importantly, am I choosing friendships that reflect who I am now or who I had to be to survive? You don't need a larger circle, you need a regulated one. If this episode resonated, sit with it, journal it, and talk about it. And if you're ready to relearn connection, not just understand it intellectually, then you know where to find me. This is Facing the Mirror, and I'll see you next time.